A maid says that Lady Camila is truly amazing while the other maid agrees, wondering how she knew that the factory would catch on fire. She mentions that Camila also guessed the Count's unborn child's gender. The maid replies by mentioning the death of the butler, but then they spot someone. Lady Camila appears and thinks about how she knows those things. She realizes it's because she has already seen it dozens of times. She has witnessed these scenes countless times in her dreams from her previous life. In her dreams, she was hated and used like a fool. Ultimately, her own family was responsible for her demise. However, now that she is Camila, she can't die just like that. A voice calls out to Lady Camila. Camila turns and smiles, telling herself that her other ability is that she can see ghosts. A ghost butler asks Camila if she will be taking care of the Duke's flower garden today, while the chief suggests that it would be a good idea to begin by preparing the Duke's favorite soup. The ghosts keep on talking and Camila tells them to calm down, requesting one ghost at a time only. Camila notes, however, that Archean Sepra, the eldest son of Duke Sepra, was calling out to her. Peter Jevelin, the eldest son of Duke Jevelin, greets her as Lady. Camila points at herself in confusion, saying that even those people she wishes to avoid have become unexpectedly involved. Camila tells herself that it'll be alright, right? A yell is heard calling out to Father. The Duke of Sorful, the head of the Duchy of Sorful, puts his hand on his head. He says that there was a foolish woman. A scream is yelled asking for help and pleading to be saved. The father says that she was despised for behaving maliciously. She was jeered at home, a woman who can't do anything other than be cruel. Even the reason for her death is ludicrous, her brother's terrible revenge. Ravi Sorful, second son of the Duchy of Sorful, finds it pathetic that she died while being used for her brother's revenge. The father asks how they dare try to harm his eldest son. This sin is too great that he can't just ignore it. The daughter begs her father while the father tells them to take them away. The end of this pathetic story is that the sister yells for Ludville to please help, as most of it ends in this man's hands. Ludville Sorful, eldest son of the Duchy of Sorful, hears his sister yell that she didn't really mean to kill him, brother, as she begs him. The brother takes out his sword and brings it close to Camila. He cuts it and Camila gasps in fear. It was a dream, and Camila says to herself that the way she died today is so bloody. But she's glad she wasn't executed by guillotine. Camila holds her head and asks the ghost granny what she thinks. Camila says yeah, she understands that she can see ghosts, but what is this dream that she has been having for 20 years? A thought strikes Camila's head and she asks if the granny knows why. She is a ghost after all. Camila started seeing ghosts when she was 5 years old when her mother died. A ghost with a broken head, a ghost with a long tongue. She has seen a lot of scary ghosts, but she was never scared. Unless she is scared, it's very rare that ghosts can harm humans. The scene cuts to the broadcasting company studio where the actors say to wait and please wait while the director says cut. The director thanks Ms. Sia for her hard work. She had a great day today. It's impressive she doesn't make mistakes. Sia says thank you while the director says that when he works with Ms. Sia, he feels really comfortable. As expected, she is a national actor. A national actor, a top star with the highest price. This description is amazing just by listening to it, the career that she, Sia Lee, built for herself since she was 14. Some girl calls out to Ms. Sia and Sia replies asking if it's Ji-hyun. Ji-hyun says that thanks to her, she had a good time. Sia asks what she is doing here, wondering if today is still part of her vacation to visit her ancestral home. Ji-hyun says that she arrived in Seoul today. She came to say her thanks to her. Ji-hyun thanks her for sending her wreath for the funeral. Thanks to her, she sent her grandmother off well. Sia says it's okay. She was just wondering what happened because her fortune wasn't good that day. Ji-hyun says that she heard that Ms. Sia is great at fortune telling. She never thought she would even guess the news about her grandmother's funeral. Sia, all flustered, laughs it off and says it's nothing. She thinks to herself that the ghost of her grandmother came all the way to her home and begged all day for her to help, so she had no choice. She wonders if Ji-hyun knows how many nights she stayed up thanks to her despite her work schedule. Well, it's also because Ji-hyun is a coworker who worked with her for a long time, so she didn't mind helping. Ji-hyun says that's right, and as she said, she also dug under the persimmon tree in the east of her grandmother's house. Sia says oh yeah and asks how it was. Ji-hyun says that she found the money she put in the jar and a letter she wrote. When she read it, it was a will with estate that her grandmother left for her. Sia says wow, she guesses she has some luck with finding wealth. How interesting. Ji-hyun makes an adorable face and says as expected, Ms. Sia is always amazing. Sia laughs to herself and thinks good job finding it. Yes, that's what she heard from her grandmother all night. The grandmother's voice was all about saying that she was busy living with terrible parents and having multiple part-time jobs to also take care of her younger brother. Her grandmother had many regrets that she left her behind. Her granddaughter is a little poor thing. Sia speeds off and says that then she'll go to her waiting room and thanks her. Ji-hyun says yes and wishes her good luck with today's shoot. She'll make her twice as pretty tomorrow. The ghost behind her says thank you and asks to please continue to take good care of Ji-hyun. Sia thinks to herself if she will finally go. She turns and says goodbye, Grandma. A voice is heard asking Ms. Sia to please change into her outfit for the next shoot. Sia thinks to herself that she's tired after that headache has been solved. She needs to rest. Sia closes her eyes, saying to herself that she thinks she can sleep better if she doesn't dream that same dream again. She thinks to herself about why on earth she is constantly dreaming that dream. A woman who dies pathetically again and again. When she dies, she will wake up. Sia's eyes open wide. She is shivering in fear. She thinks to herself why she can't wake up and about those eyes. Someone is looking at her. She needs to wake up. Sia tells herself to hurry up and wake up now. Sia wakes up gasping and yelling out that she needs to wake up. She thinks to herself what that was. The dream always ended when she died. It's the first time she has ever seen that dead woman. This is making her feel anxious. Sia says that she's going to the set while the worker says that there's still an hour left. As Sia walks, she says to herself that she has never been afraid of ghosts, the eyes that contain resentment and sadness. Sia freezes again while the director says Ms. Sia came early. He asks if they shall try to act right away. Sia says okay, sounds good. Sia grabs her script and thinks to herself that the scene where she attends the male lead's birthday party as a partner and takes care of him as his secretary isn't hard. It'll be good. Suddenly the chandelier starts moving violently and one of the men yells what's wrong with that chandelier. One of the men yells at her to watch out. Everyone has a shocked look as the chandelier falls down on her head. They scream to hurry up and call the ambulance. Miss Sia is bleeding. Sia thinks to herself what happened. She looks at a ghost and says that face is her. She says to herself, damn, those ghosts have been bothering her so much throughout her life. In the end, she ends up dying because of the ghost. She asks to please cancel everything. Camila screams to cancel what she said earlier that ghosts don't harm humans. She is puzzled and asks herself why her body is so light. She wonders if her face is okay and if she's not wearing a bandage. She thinks the chandelier falling was an illusion. She looks at herself in the mirror and realizes that face is the face she has always seen in her dreams. Someone slaps open the door and says that he told her to come out on time for breakfast, didn't he? He asks if she thinks he's joking, saying Ravi. Camila thinks to herself that this guy is Ravi Sorful, right? She asks herself if she's still in a dream. Ravi asks what she is doing and tells her to follow him. Camila, all shaken, asks herself why he is upset with her as soon as he sees her. She wonders why he is ordering her around. Camila says fine, this is perfect. Ravi turns and Camila thinks to herself that because of his inferiority complex, he tried to kill the oldest brother using Camila, second son of the Duchy of Sorful. Camila smacks Ravi at the back of his head. Ravi is puzzled and Camila says that she has always wanted to whack his head. She calls him a bastard. Camila asks herself why she suddenly hit Ravi's head. Anyone who had this dream for 20 years would have done the same. Camila and Ravi's mother remarried to the Duke. Ravi became the second son of the Sorful family. Ravi had some talent for magic, but it was incomparable to Ludville, the eldest son. As his inferiority complex increased, he even planned an assassination to kill Ludville, even using his own sister, who no one was paying attention to, by luring Camila, the ugly duckling. Camila thinks to herself that she gets mad every time she sees Camila die because of his schemes. She wanted to punch his face at least once. Ravi asks how she dares and Camila makes a cute face saying oh, she's sorry brother. She asks what she has done. She thought it was a dream because she was half asleep. While Camila is laughing from the inside, she asks herself what he is going to do if he glares at her. She said she was half asleep, so he can't do anything. Ravi laughs it off and says that she must have been half asleep. He thinks to himself that there's no way she beat him on purpose when she can't speak up against the maids. But he wonders if she was always this strong. Ravi turns and says anyway, hurry up and get changed. They are late because of her. Camila gets more angry and says as if he never cared about her before. He's trying so hard to impress the Duke. Even so, he'll eventually always die together with Camila. They both walk and Camila thinks to herself if she's still in the dream. Even in the dream, it was always from a first-person perspective. She couldn't do something with her own will like hitting Ravi. In that case, she asks herself if it's related to the ghost that looks like her that she last saw. The door opens and the Duke is sitting there waiting. Camila thinks to herself that Ludville's seat is empty. So, is this around the time when the rebellion broke out in the western region? Ravi takes a seat and Camila says to herself that by the way it would be a big problem if she can't wake up from this dream. She glances to her side and says that she has died countless times with that chilly look in his eyes. If she stays like this, she'll end up being dead. The Duke says that she's very late. Ravi startles but then gets cut off by Camila saying her apologies. She didn't sleep well last night, so she overslept. The Duke thinks to himself that she is usually very quiet at every meal. Something feels not right today. The maid brings out the food and says that she'll prepare it for her, Lady Camila. Camila says yes, thank you, while the maid laughs to herself. For a long time Camila has been bullied by some maids. The behavior continued even on the dining table. Camila says that disgusting maid, yeah, go ahead and laugh for now. She won't be laughing anymore. She wonders what kind of meat they prepared this time. Meat full of salt? Meat with a bucket of pepper? Camila says father and tells him that she came late today, so she wants to do something for him. She cuts it up so it's easy for him to eat. She tells dad to enjoy this steak. Ravi asks herself if she's fully awake. The Duke says well, alright, and takes a bite. He is startled by what he just tasted. Camila laughs to herself and says that she has laid down her trap. It's important from this point onward. Camila gets up from her chair and yells out, "Oh father." She tells him to wait and not eat that. She asks him to please stop. Camila says that she's sorry and that she'll take it back. She'll eat it. Ravi is left puzzled. Camila tells the Duke to please give it back to her. The father calls out to Camila and says that this isn't her first time eating something like this, is it? Camila puts her hand on her chest and says father. She laughs to herself thinking that now that she can act freely, she can't tolerate bullies like this who play around with food. She realizes why Camila ate so little during mealtime. She needs to tell these clueless family members. Camila says, "Ah, father. But that dish." The father cuts her off and says to let's talk about this later, after dealing with those who dared to tarnish the Duke's name. The maid gags in fear while Camila says that if it's for the family name, he's a father who would kill even his own children. Nice job, father. A week later, Camila on her bed thinks to herself that if it's past this point, she can't wake up from her dream, right? She wonders why she can't wake up yet. Has she died and fallen asleep forever? Or is she in a coma? She hates that. A purple-haired maid walks in asking Camila if she's awake. It's the dedicated maid of Duke Sorful, Donna. She heard she is not eating well lately. Camila laughs and says that she has no appetite. After that incident at the kitchen, the Duke ordered the kitchen to be more careful about the food he eats. The kitchen maids who bullied Camila were kicked out without receiving any severance pay. All she has to do is find a way to wake up from these dreams. Camila says that she'll eat it later. Donna asks what she's talking about. The lady often left food behind, so the chef himself came today. Camila, all annoyed, asks that he came again. During the week, she discovered one more fact that was different from her previous dream. The chef brought the fruitcake that he's most confident in. The ghost chef says hey and tells her that he has told her so many times. When he makes food, he has to think of the person who eats it first. The chef says that she'll be able to enjoy it this time. He has heard that she hasn't finished her meal again. The ghost chef says that Camila doesn't like apples, doesn't he know? And this cake has 1 gram less cinnamon. The chef says that he'll go back after she finishes eating this one, my lady. The ghost chef yells at him saying that he's so frustrated that he thought of him as his student. He's trash, garbage from the culinary world. The ghost yells at Camila asking if she thinks so too, right? The chef asks what tea she would like and says to go ahead and try it. The ghost keeps on yelling to consider the people who eat it. Please. Camila says these are not even her own, so why can she still see ghosts here? Camila is annoyed. The scene cuts to the Fabler Academy. One of the boys asks if the other knows her. The other boy asks what he is talking about. The other boy mentions Camila from the Sorful family who was chasing Petro to death. There are a lot of rumors. Doesn't he know? The other boy says he thinks he has heard of it. The boy says that he heard she stole Petro's handkerchief again and got caught. Isn't that creepy? She's always been gloomy. Isn't that what a stalker does? Last time she went on a rampage at the party, grabbing the young lady's head which Petro escorted, so even if she gets a nickname like Fake Young Lady, there's nothing to say. The other boy says to watch what he says about the Duke's daughter before his head gets cut off. They spot someone and tell the other boy to let's go back in fear. The boy says can he see? He's famous for having a trashy personality. one of the sons of the third generation of the Duke family, Arshian Sepra, the eldest son of Duke Sepra. The first time he tasted her mentor's food, a ray of sunlight shined in her heart. It must bring great happiness if he can also make such delicious food. The apple pie that his mentor taught him was essence to a chef's life. However, the chef says that he didn't finish his food. She isn't even a real lady, so why is he being picky as if he knows any better? Just eat what's given to him. The chef says that he heard that she didn't like what was prepared, so he has brought this. The chef thinks to himself that she should be grateful that she can even taste his art. The chef says that he has poured his heart into this apple pie. Please try it. The ghost chef, all annoyed, says that he told him that Camila hates apples. You imbecile disciple, says the Sorfel's previous chef Pierre. Camila says that since she has met plenty of rude people in the show business industry, so she doesn't mind, but what kind of ghost is that? So loud. Camila says alright then, she'll try it. Camila takes a bite and says it doesn't taste good. She doesn't want to eat anymore. The chef yells out, how could this be? Does she know what kind of apple pie this is? This is the recipe the previous chef, his mentor, has. Camila says that he has 1 gram less of cinnamon. The chef is left puzzled, but Camila says it's alright to bring something that should be a basic for baking. And also, shouldn't he consider who is eating it? She doesn't like apples. If no one can eat it, it's same as trash. The chef thinks to himself that is something his previous mentor had said. The chef says that he'll come back later. Camila says sure. Camila looks at the ghost and says that she wishes he'd leave too. The ghost is left puzzled and then realizes she is talking to him. He asks if she can see him. Camila says she doesn't know, she's going to bed. The ghost chef is left speechless and the scene cuts to the chef yelling that he's telling the truth. The butler says to calm down and explain himself slowly. The chef says that child spoke directly to him. The butler says that Lady Camila spoke directly to him, says the Duchy of Sorfel's previous butler, Darren. The chef says, what does he mean, lady? Does he think he's still this household's butler? The butler says that just because he has passed away doesn't mean he should lose his identity. The butler says that it is strange, she didn't act as if she saw them before. Is he sure it wasn't a coincidence? The chef says no. His own eyes surely made contact. The butler says, well, let's watch and see. They have nothing but plenty of time. The chef says that is true. The butler asks if they shall play chess. It's been a while. The chef says, this time, he'll sure to win. A few days later, Camila is panicking and the ghosts are looking at her. Camila says that this is a huge problem. She guesses it's impossible to go back. Shall she think about a way to survive this? What should she do? Camila first, let's at least change his reputation. When Camila didn't help Ravi's scheme to kill Ludville, no one listened because of false witnesses. Of course, it didn't help since her actions were deplorable on a daily basis. The ghost chef sighs and Camila says that first, she needs to capture Duke Sorfel's heart, right? The chef says hey, she can hear him right. Camila goes on by thinking that how dare she raise up Camilla's reputation from the duchy's view. The chef says to turn around and look at him. Didn't she try to talk to him before? Camila says to herself that if only she came before Camila tried to grab someone by the hair at the party. The ghost chef says hey, hello. He's sure she saw him earlier. Hey Camila. Camila gets annoyed and screams saying so what? What if she can see him? The chef says he knew it. The butler asks my lady, can she really see them? Camila yells at them they are bothering her, so stop it. She's going to say this right now, but if they want her to speak on their behalf or solve their problems, no matter what their regrets are, she can't help them. She's not doing it. The chef says how amazing. This is truly amazing. She can really see him. She can hear them too, right? The butler says that he can't believe this is possible. Camila says to herself that they aren't listening to her. If she keeps going like this, she's going to join them as a ghost. As the ghosts were talking, Camila says ugh. How would she know what the Duke likes? The butler says what the Duke likes. In that case, they know exactly what he likes. Camila is startled. The butler says that he has been working at this duchy even before the head Duke was born. Same for the chef as well. The Duke when he was a young boy was a picky eater. They ask Camila if they shall give some advice. Camila is shocked, but then her eyes light up and she says yes sir. The scene cuts to the garden where the Duke says that it's been a while since he has come here for a walk. The Duke spots Camila and asks if that is Camila. Camila is humming to a song. The Duke, all worried, asks himself if she's trying to destroy the mist flowers like last time. He doesn't know why, but last time, she destroyed the rose garden. Although of course they would always just replant them, but still. But the mist garden is different. The Duke sprints at her and yells what she's doing here. Camila drops to the ground and the Duke is puzzled. Camila says that she's gathering flowers. The Duke is confused and asks flowers. Camila says to decorate father's room. He likes them, doesn't he? The mist flowers. The Duke is confused and asks my room. Camila says yes, father. Camila from the inside laughs to herself and says to herself that the look at his shocked expression. Her father the Duke from now on, receive her filial piety. Camila asks if that was too presumptuous of her. The Duke says do as she wishes. Camilla's eyes light up and she says thank you. She'll put it in a vase and bring it to him. The butler says the madam, the Duke's mother who passed away, loved mist flowers. She also took care of the mist flower garden. That's why the Duke has a special place in his heart for mist flowers. Did the Duke like it? Asks the butler. Camila says yes, she thinks so. She thinks to herself that the Duke's eyes it was definitely different from the usual indifference. She may not be able to restore the relationship right away, but she has created an opportunity. Camila slams open the door and says, oh, let's move on to the next step. A week later, Duke Sorfel's aide Jack Tur says that Ludville once again made a great contribution. He's truly amazing. These are the related documents. Aide says Duke as he wasn't paying attention. The Duke takes a glance at the mist flowers and says without missing a day, she arranged the flowers. The Duke asks Jack Tur if Camila eating properly these days. Jack Tur has no answer and is startled. The Duke gives him this glare and Jack Tur freaks out and says that he will go find out right away. A knock is heard and a person says, my lord, it's him Lud. He prepared it because he thought he might be in the market by now, says Duke Sorfel's butler, Rube. Jack Tur says that he believes he was slightly famished, so this is perfect timing. The Duke quickly takes a seat and asks why he is standing there and looking over this way. The butler laughs it off and says it's nothing. Please disregard him. The Duke takes a bite and says this taste he longed for. Pierre. The Duke asks if Gerald finally recreated the taste of Pierre's soup. The butler says, my lord, that soup wasn't made by Chef Gerald. The Duke asks then, who made it? The butler with a smile says that it was made by Lady Camila. The Duke asks that Camila made this soup. The chef says that this taste, golden color and deep scent. It tastes like Master Pierre's soup. How did she make it taste like this? Camila asks how does it taste? The chef yells at her asking how did she make this? How on earth? Pierre giggles to himself. Camila shrugs her shoulder and says the reason she was able to recreate Pierre's soup is simple. Because it was Pierre himself who made this soup. After being able to see his ghost and be able to move freely, he was able to have the ghost repossess her. The chef thinks to himself that when Pierre suddenly died, Gerald said he didn't get the soup recipe. Well, how about it? Camila says Gerald. To which he says yes while being shivering. Camila says that they made a bet. What was it that they decided, if she made food that can satisfy him? Gerald says what? Camila says that should she keep looking up at him. It hurts her neck to keep looking up. Gerald is scared. The scene cuts to Gerald saying Camila, how dare she say she'll cook in front of him? Is she trying to make those dirty commoners food? Gerald says to let's make a bet. If she satisfies him, then he will do anything, even kneel down before her. Gerald, all heartbroken, kneels down to her and says he admits defeat. The scene cuts to Camila drinking her tea and laughing to herself. The butler asks if she has anything to say to them. The chef asks if something good happened. She's making him anxious. Camila says now tell her. The butler asks what is it? Camila thinks to herself that after living with ghosts for over 20 years, she realized something. There is no such thing as a ghost who gives help without a reason. Camila says about the mist flowers and the soup. She was grateful for helping her gain the Duke's favor. She really felt it this time. She will need their help in the future. Camila thinks to herself that in order to survive here and to change Camila's ruined reputation, she can at least relieve the regret of one or two ghosts. Camila giggles to herself, then tells them to please tell her. Who do they two want? Both of them ask something they want. The chef laughs and says there's only one thing he wants. Cooking. Camila asks cooking. She thinks to herself if this means she wants to set up a table for ancestral rites. The chef says that his wish was to cook food again. There's nothing more that makes him happier than having someone enjoy the food he prepared. The chef says thank you for letting him cook again. Camila says my pleasure, but she thinks to herself that she doesn't understand, but there's no need to dig for more just because they don't have any wishes that needs granting. The butler says it's the same for him too. He can help the family with the information he knows. That is great happiness. He was happy to be able to bring the mist flower back to the head of the family's office. Thank you, my lady. Camila is shocked by their wishes and asks what are these people? Why are they so nice? Their regret is that they couldn't bring enough happiness to others. Do they enjoy being doormats? Camila says so, she understands what they two mean. Anyway, that means they don't have any specific wishes granted, right? She holds her cloth and says that since they are helping her without anything in return, she should cooperate too. So please continue to look after her. After 10 days, Gerald, all annoyed, says she knows how to make this dish too. Camila says of course she can. After showing Pierre's soup to Gerald, she started cooking every night. Camila says her neck feels like she's looking up too high again, to which Gerald kneels down again. Gerald asks how does she get such pretty colors? Is there a recipe book that his mentor left behind? Plus, that look. How can she find kitchen tools and ingredients like someone who has been working in the kitchen for decades? Gerald asks if he can have some. Camila says it's leftovers, so go ahead. Gerald says yes miss and takes a bite. He thinks to himself that it's delicious. He did the same thing, but why doesn't it taste like this? Camila asks how about it, is it delicious? Gerald says well, it's not bad. Camila says this guy still wants to protect his pride. She gets annoyed and says if he wants to know how to make it. To which he says yes. Camila says well then, be cute and try to win her favor. Gerald is puzzled and says ugh and makes a cute face asking like this. Camila is disgusted and says to remove his hand and don't pout like that. The butler calls out Camila and asks if she's ready. Camila says Rube, just wait a moment. She puts something on the drink and says to take good care of these today as well. Rube says yes, my lady. Rube walks out and takes a glance behind where Camila asks Gerald if his knees aren't in pain, right? Gerald, all annoyed, says no worries, he's quite strong. Rube thinks to himself how could she make that bad-tempered Gerald so obedient? He giggles to himself. He doesn't know why, but Lady Camila has become really interested. How did she suddenly change like this? Rube knocks the door. He says my lord, it's him Rube. The Duke tells him to come in. Rube says the lady sent him to bring refreshments. She even fully prepared for the guests. One of the men says oh my, is he saying that she made all of that? They take a taste and says this taste. How does the lady know how to make something like this? The other men say that this is amazing. They say they are so jealous of him. My lord. The Duke giggles to himself. He says he told her it wasn't necessary, but she still decided to bring some anyway. One of the men says this is why everyone says it's good to have a daughter or two. Yes, that's true. It's really delicious, says the other men. The butler says to himself that he was wondering why his lord changed the meeting time. He must have wanted to brag about the lady's cooking skills. One of the men says it's truly amazing. Lady Camila was always causing such trouble. Has she come to her senses? I guess she was very sorry for the accident she caused at the last party to make something like this specially for the Duke. The man beside him says you crazy idiot. Shut up. The Duke is very annoyed. The Duke says didn't he say he can't drink wine? In that case, surely he can't even eat a dessert made with wine. The men say me. No, he really likes drinking wine. The Duke says no, he doesn't like wine. He can't ignore her daughter's sincerity, so he'll eat his instead. Bring it here, says the Duke. Rube takes it off the man's hand and says yes, my lord. The man says what and thinks to himself what did he do wrong? Camila asks what is he making tomorrow? Pierre says that there is a sauce recipe that is specially developed. He's going to use it slightly to create canopy. Camila says oh, he's going to use it slightly. Is it meat or fruit dish? Camila spots someone and asks what is he doing there, brother? Ravi gets startled and walks out with a suspicious look on his face. He asks what the hell is she doing at that time. Camila asks what he means by what she's doing. Ravi tells her that she goes in and out of the kitchen every night. He questions why she's suddenly making a fuss by doing something she never did before. Camila sighs and explains that she's just making food. She asks why he's questioning her. Ravi gets pissed off and asks if she thinks that the Duke will accept her as family just because she does all this. Camila thinks to herself who cares and wonders why he's like that. She reflects that they were originally living their own lives, weren't they? It's not like he took care of her before. Ravi states they don't acknowledge them. Camila gets startled and questions us. Ravi asks if his effort to look good overlaps with his previous efforts in the past. Ravi tells her to not do anything useless. He states it's all pointless in the end. Camila tells him she knows. Ravi asks wait, what? Camila explains that she knows they don't care about them. It's not like she wants to be recognized as part of the family. Ravi asks then what she's saying. She sprints off and tells him that she's going to bed. Ravi yells out for her to wait. He states that makes no sense. Camila stops and tells him that she doesn't want to die. She just wants to survive. Ravi is left puzzled. Camila thinks to herself yes, that's right. She doesn't want to die. That's all. Family is a useless piece of crap. She doesn't need that. The next day Camila is drinking her tea and Pierre is gossiping to the butler. She can hear what they're talking about and asks what it is. If they have a question, she tells them to go ahead and ask. The butler asks what she meant when she told Master Ravi yesterday that she wanted to survive. He wonders if she's ill somewhere. Pierre states that she can't die yet. There's still a lot of cooking he still wants to do. Camila thinks to herself that she knows that she'll die in the future, so she's struggling to survive. Even if she told them that, they wouldn't believe her. They might even both leave because they'll think she's crazy. Camila explains, well, it's true that anyone wants to live, right? The butler agrees, well, that's true. Camila thinks to herself that since these ghosts can move freely in the duchy, maybe they know where it's buried. Camila gets up and tells them she also has something to ask. The butler tells her to go ahead. Camila asks if they know the flower garden incident. In the flower garden incident, she tried to find the ring that was left by her mother and buried by her servants. This is the reason why Camila dug up the flower bed and got scolded for it. At that incident, Camila didn't even make excuses. Everyone simply thought that Camila was acting wicked without any reason, just like usual. At that day, the Duke was enraged and scolded Camila. He was worried that she might one day destroy the misty flower bed that he loves. Camila asks if they are sure the ring is buried here. The butler confirms yes, that's right. She thinks to herself how annoying she gets every time she watches this scene in her dreams. This is frustrating. Camila finds the ring and Pierre tells Camila that she should have just asked them for help back then. He wonders why she pretended she couldn't see them at that time. Camila agrees that's true. She guesses she was so distracted. The butler asks Lady Camila if they should take revenge now. As a ghost, they are able to do many things. Camila asks what he's trying to do. Camila tells him no, she'll take care of her own affairs. She thanks them for letting her know the location of the ring. Camila thinks to herself that it's these guys. These guys started this first. The scene cuts to the boy asking if she called them too. The two maids say, George, you too. One of the maids wonders, wow, why did she suddenly call them all? The other maid says she doesn't know. Maybe she plans to scold them because her relationship with the Duke has gotten better these days. They laugh and say with that personality, she'll bet her earring that she'll eventually lose her temper in front of the Duke and lose his favor. The maid laughs and agrees, me too. They open the door and get startled. They scream to see Camila lifelessly laying on her bed. One of the maids drops to the ground asking, what is this? The other asks if she's dead. George tells them to hurry up and check on her. The maid stands up and sees these drugs. She wonders, could it be that she committed suicide? The maid is in disbelief and tells George to hurry up and lock the door. The maid asks if she's really dead. George thinks so. An envelope is left and she asks, what is this? She opens it to read it. The envelope says, Feather, and to my dear family members, the reason why last month she dug up the rose garden is because she doesn't know if it was a servant of the maid Elsie and Erica, but someone hid her mother's heirloom in that garden. As the lady of the house, she was embarrassed that she was being bullied by servants of their household, so she asks them to please take revenge for her father. The maid is left in shambles and worries if this falls into the Duke's hands. They suggest to let's get rid of this letter. The maid asks what? There's no reason they need to die with her. The maid says yes, but Camila smiles and asks, hey, don't these guys believe in her luck too much? Camila wakes up and wonders, will they always be lucky enough to be the first to discover things? The maid in shock starts screaming. The maid exclaims, God, wasn't she dead? She asks if she's a ghost. Camila tells her that she's quite good at acting dead, you know. The maid, all startled, asks acting. She wonders if she's making fun of them. Not just anyone, but someone foolish like Camila. Camila says, well, she guesses she can make it not just acting but reality. The maid asks what she's saying. Camila explains that they know she goes to the kitchen every night, right? She asks what happens if she doesn't show up at that time. What if someone comes to look for her but she's actually dead with this letter in her hand? They were deceived too. Won't other people be deceived as well? The maid yells at her asking if she's threatening them now. Camila questions threat. Threats are only for those who have something to give. Camila comes close to the maid and asks why would she even threaten mere insects? If it's just bugs, she just steps on them. By the way, she doesn't think she cares to look at insects buzzing around lately. What shall she do? All of them get down on their knees and plead, lady, they made a mistake. Please forgive them. They will never do it again. Camila tells them all right. That's good. Camila smiles and asks now they know what to do, right? The maid is confused and asks pardon. Camila explains that she wants them to find the ring right now. They run out saying that they understand. Forgive them please. Camila sighs and notes that they finally left. Acting as a villain is the best way to relieve stress. but it wastes so much stamina. Camila looks back and asks, what is it now? The butler says it surprised him. Pierre says it seemed like she was really going to kill someone if things escalated. He wonders, was it just an act? Camila smiles and tells them that she previously won the Female Role Award for her performance as the villain role, surpassing the protagonist in the same movie. Pierre asks, an award? What kind of an award? The butler wonders if there is an award ceremony for acting well. Camila says something like that. The butler says, by the way, Lady Camila, hasn't she already found the ring? The previous command. Camila confirms yes. Isn't it a matter of courtesy to give back as much as one receives? Digging into an empty rose flower field. Why don't they get some scolding too? The maids panic, asking why isn't it there? They confirm it's definitely the right place. She definitely put it here. One of the maids thinks to herself that there's nothing here. Could it be that someone among them took it to sell it off? This can't be, those two can't be that stupid. A voice is heard asking, what are they doing here? It's the head butler. The scene cuts to the Duke slamming his table. He asks what? They stole the heirloom. The butler confirms yes. That is what the servants at the flower garden said. Previously, the reason why the young lady was digging in the rose garden, he thinks it was to find her ring. The Duke says he doesn't understand and thinks to himself that if she had spoken earlier, he wouldn't have scolded her so harshly. Why didn't she say anything? The Duke tells the butler to bring Camila. The butler confirms yes, my lord. The Duke thinks to himself that yes, it's natural to feel awkward and uncomfortable to talk to someone who's recently become her stepfather. He felt awkward too. But to be toyed with by the maids and servants of this mansion. What kind of treatment was her daughter receiving from the servants? Camila notes father, he called her. She thinks to herself that she was busy dealing with those servants. What happened now? The Duke explains that he heard that she lost her ring. Why didn't she tell the truth? Camila is shocked and asks, pardon me. The Duke asks Camila, why didn't she tell him right away? Camila wonders, why does he look so upset? Does he believe in Camila's words? The Duke says, well, she should have told him this a long time ago. Camila asks herself if he's regretting what happened. She watched the moment that person killed him dozens of times. The way he always coldly turned his back on her. Thanks to her recent efforts, he feels slightly better. But they don't have that close of a relationship, do they? Camila explains that's because he was always busy with work. She didn't want to bother him with her affairs. She apologizes. She wasn't good enough. She tried to solve it on her own. The Duke stands up and yells at her, asking why is she apologizing? The ones who should be apologizing are. He repeats himself, saying that the ones who should apologize are. The Duke tells Camila that in the future, she should come talk to him first when something happens. Always be sure to speak to him first. Camila is shocked by what he just said. Camila wonders why is he looking at her with such tender eyes. She just needs to improve her reputation enough to not be killed. If this continues, she won't be able to run away, right? The ghost asks what is she doing now. Camila explains that she's looking at the map. She was wondering where she should run to, should she need to. Pierre asks run to. What does that mean? Camila tells him to not worry about it. Camila thinks to herself that it would be nice if things worked out well and she didn't have to run away. Things don't always work out the way people want. She can't be at ease just trusting the Duke's attitude. It's about time that guy will be here soon. The eldest son of Duchy of Sorful and Camilla's older brother, Ludville Sorful. Ludville Sorful, she must be wary of him. When he comes back, surely he will. The scene cuts to the maid saying, my lady, the Lord Duke wishes to have tea time with her. Camila acknowledges tea. She got it. Camila thinks to herself that since he keeps asking for tea time, she guesses she has leveled up and earned his favor. This is not a bad situation. Camila gets up and suggests then, shall they go have a tea time? When Camila arrives there she spots Ravi and wonders that this guy isn't the type to have tea with her normally. So why is he here? Ravi notices she is here and tells her to come and sit. Camila thanks brother Ravi. She thinks to herself, what a cheapskate. Why doesn't he act like this friendly when it's just them two? Camila sits down and thinks to herself that Ravi seems to be in a good mood. Did something nice happen? Ravi tells father that the thesis he wrote was selected for presentation. Camila thinks to herself that day has come. The Magic Tower invites wizards once a year for presentation, and each year they allow only the most talented and skilled wizards to present their thesis. Basically, the fact that Ravi can present his thesis means he is considered one of their best. She can see why that fox is having a hard time hiding his happiness. Ravi mentions if he has the time. Camila thinks to herself, however, what should she do? It's about time. Jack opens the door and announces, "My lord, it's grand victory. They have received news that Lord Ludville found the rebellion's headquarters and conquered them all. And not only that, it was due to Lord Ludville's plan that he devised." The Duke, all joyful, asks, "Is that true?" Jack confirms yes. They have received the news directly from the Imperial Palace. His Majesty is also greatly elated and has personally sent a letter to Lord Ludville. The Duke laughs and says this is wonderful. Jack agrees yes, as expected of their Lord Ludville. Camila nervously looks at Ravi. She thinks to herself, what did he expect? He really has no luck, doesn't he? It's even more unfortunate that the victory party is the same day as the Magic Tower presentation. Ravi says then he'll take his leave. The Duke tells him it's alright if he wishes to stay longer. Ravi explains he just remembered there's something he needs to take care of. Camila says that she should be heading out as well. The Duke agrees alright, he'll see them too another time. Both Camila and Ravi walk out, and Ravi asks himself if he works this hard on his studies and wastes his time just to be treated this way. He should have just learned offensive magic and went out to battle. Brother Ravi, he was more amazing than he thought, Camila tells him, to be able to present at the Magic Tower and all. Ravi asks if she's teasing him. Camila denies no, she's telling him the truth. Isn't that something only the best wizards can do in that snobby Magic Tower of his? Ravi asks what does she know. Camila touches his shoulder and tells him he did well. Ravi thinks to himself the short words that he has longed to hear from father. That idiot, why is she acting like this lately? As Ravi blushes, the scene cuts to the maid saying, "My lady, it really suits her. She's sure that at this party, Lady Camila will be the most beautiful of all the ladies." Camila agrees. Well, it's true that she's pretty even if she looks at herself impartially. The maid promises that she'll make sure that she's gorgeous like this on the day of the party too. Camila tells her that she trusts that she will. As soon as Ludville arrived, since that day it was non-stop party. She's sure it's a political move on the duchy, but this is a bit unfair. But since she does wish to stand out, it's best to try on several outfits. Ravi tells her just don't cause new troubles. Got it. Camila asks Ravi, "What's this? Why is he here just to start a fight?" Ravi explains well, she has past record of doing exactly that. In the last party, Camila admits she's guilty. Ravi asks huh. Camila repeats she admits she's guilty. She's pretty darn good at grabbing someone by their hair. Camila pretends to grab someone's hair and Ravi thinks to himself, why is she so unashamed? Normally she won't speak a single word. Something's really strange with her. Camila asks brother Ravi, did he get a new outfit for the occasion? Ravi asks she isn't thinking that he's going to join the party. Camila clarifies outfit for her presentation. Ravi's eyes light up and he says forget it while turning his face. He thinks to himself, what the heck, she remembered his presentation day. He must be crazy, whether Camila remembers his presentation day or not. What does that have to do with him? Camila warns if he doesn't select a nice outfit, she'll be compared. Ravi dismisses never mind, who cares about clothes? She should be wary and not cause embarrassment at the party. Camila admits she's guilty and pretends to pull hair again. Ravi says he's tired, why is he here? The scene cuts to the workers saying to move to the side. They are told to make sure that the victory party is elegant and elaborate as possible. Riva is taking a walk and asks himself so they are having a festival even out in the duchy's land. Even outside, everyone's only talking about Ludville. Riva clutches his fist and tells himself to let's not dwell on it. Even without family, he has been fine alone so far.